Greetings, everyone. Today's holiday spotlight shine on Marius, a Microsoft Business Application MVP from Austria and a true champion of the Power Platform community. With his deep expertise and the passion for simplifying business processes, Marius is here to deliver a special gift of knowledge. In this festive edition, Marius will unwrap the magic of enhancing your approvals with the business approval kits. Discover how the powerful solution can transform your approval workflow into the seamless, efficient experiences, making governance and collaboration easier than ever. So pour yourself a streaming cup of the hot coffee, cozy up by the trees, and let's Marius guide you through the tips and the tricks that will make your Power Platform journey sparkle this session. Because smarter approval are the gift that keep on giving. So over to you, Marius.
Thank you, Ambesh. In my last video, we talked about the standard approvals, and this time we are talking about the business approvals kit. This is from PowerCat. So this PowerCat is CAT is standing for Customer Advisory Team, and that's an organization within Microsoft, and they have published this business approvals kit. This is an extra installation. So we will talk about installation here first. They have just published this to the GitHub, and you see here a release, and then you can scroll down a bit. They have put in directions here. There are also directions on installation on the Learn page. And then down here, you will find the solutions. The obvious thing that you will need to install is the Business Approval Kit Managed Solution. However, that's not the only thing. You need to set up the Creator Kit first. That's also mentioned in the Learn article. And there is also this Office 365 integration, and you need to install that first because there is like you have a weird dependency with custom connectors where when you install a custom connector and you require a connection for it, you have this like chicken egg problem, right? The connector is not installed yet, and therefore you can't create a connection. So yeah, but you need a connection to install the solution. That's solved here by splitting it to two different solutions. However, when you make that mistake and don't install the Office 365 integration solution, the errors are not really good because they are both developed in the same instance. So it will talk about an active layer dependency not being fulfilled and not point you to that solution. So just keep that in mind. That's the first thing. And the second thing you need to look out for, which it was pretty unclear to me after I watched the video and went through the Learn article. They tell you that you need to change the connector here, the approvals kit connector, in the security section, and then put in your URL of the environment as a resource, and then your client ID and client secret, and that's all clear to me, right? And when you then test it, it won't work because what was not documented is, okay, of course, you also need to change the host. So where this connector will connect to your own instance, because it's still connector, or well, this value points to the development instance of probably the Microsoft PowerCat team. So this is something you will need to change as well, and host and this resource URL in general should match, although like schemas like HTTPS is not included in the other one. So from there, if we have this installed and published, you will have a new app, which is called Business Approval Management. And the easiest way to get started from here is to use this configure workflow action. I've already created one. So if I switch to Approvals Designer Processes, you see here my demo. And here I can also access the Process Designer for my existing workflow. So, and in this, we see, well, it looks a little bit like a flow already, although not, right? Because we have these stages that are executed one after another. And these stages have nodes, and these nodes can be of type approval or go to stage. So if you have, maybe you want to skip a stage, right? If certain conditions are fulfilled, so that could be a thing, or end workflow. Yeah, this is the final outcome essentially. And one of these approval nodes I have here, and I've just called it manager. And you then have here the approval configuration. And if you take a look at this, these are the options we saw earlier, although we are missing sequential, but sequential we would build here maybe as stages or as nodes that follow up on each other. And then in this case, I don't know why this is pre-selected as user here, but I have used dynamic, which will allow you to choose one of these. So the manager of the initiator, the manager of the last approver. So if you want to go up a hierarchy, you can use it like this, or use request data field. This is of course very interesting because request data field, you could, for example, you could just make an approver field to the quote, right? When I want to approve this, I just put in approver, and you can select some of the, or one of the approvers from a defined list, maybe that you expose as a view, and of course, manager of such a request field. So yeah, that could also be possible. That's the thing here. You have also delegation here. So this is so out of office, right? That's the most obvious thing. Someone puts in an out of office and you want to stand in. So those rules are also incorporated here. And with the timeout rules, especially, Microsoft has done. So this is when you do this yourself with the standard approvals, you will need to build a lot of flows. This will take time, right? Development time and figuring out stuff, how to do it efficiently. Because right, with timeout settings and when to time out stuff and how to trigger the flows, then yeah, not trivial. Microsoft has solved that here for you. That's a nice thing. However, this solution is still, it feels a little bit like a solution someone would build, although you have this fancy editor, because I don't know, I had things like, if I put request data like this will save, but this will not execute because it will run into a null reference exception because I haven't put a request data here. Yeah, this is not marked as required somewhere. Okay, no one has thought about it. Yeah, with static value it works. So I say, at least for this part, in the end, these are flows. These are pre-built for you, but you need to have someone, even though this looks like, so this whole configuration can be done by a business user, but somewhere in the background in your organization, you need to have an administrator who is used to debugging flows, for example, because, okay, yeah, my process isn't working, is the complaint from the business, and someone needs to look inside the flows that Microsoft has built, and they will figure out, for example, something like this. Yeah, we went into the request data branch, and then there was simply no value in the request data, and yeah. So that's the one thing I have here. I've said this is for more complex situations. And I mean, okay, I haven't had such complex things. You could do this with regular flows, but I have set here a condition that if the discount percent is greater than 10%, also the manager of the manager, so a second hierarchy step, needs to approve. Otherwise, we have this this end workflow step here, which I've called, which just sets this to complete, and the other option, so for rejected, would be cancelled. That's not everything, because you see we're missing a trigger here, and that's in a flow. Because in this flow, we have pretty much the same trigger we had with our standard approval. Just the approval type here is changed. And then we still need to get the owner because you need to put in the email of the person requesting inside. Then we have my discount percent as a variable we need to pass in. Oh, and by the way, let's take a look at this task in general. So it knows, for example, when I select the workflow process, in this case demo, it knows that discount percent is a variable because I have it defined as a variable to use it in my condition. And the connector you can find in the section custom connectors as approvals kit. And there you see this task I've used here. There's another problem solved for you here. I've said you cannot customize the approvals standard entities, and thus you need to, if you need to store the so like a connection from the approval to the record you are approving for, then later correlate both again after an approval has completed, you always need to do that on the side of the thing you are approving. So in my case, on the quote, because the quote can be customized. So I can make a field approval ID and then put in the GUID of the approval, for example, or something else that would identify it. Microsoft here has sorted this by putting in an external reference where you push in some value, and then later you can use that value to correlate the outcome of the approval again to your record. I've just chosen here to use the table name underscore and then the GUID of the record. You could choose different things, right? For example, a more readable quote ID. That would be this field here, would also be unique, right? You could identify which quote that is to correlate again. So let's change my approval type here to PowerCut. So the business approvals kit, activate the quote, and our process will start. From the user side, I can already tell you this will not look different. So I will receive an email in a bit, and you can see just by the runtime, I haven't approved this email yet. However, this only takes 0.7 seconds to execute. This is because it only creates the approval. You don't have any wait mechanism here. So I also don't have this in a flow. While we wait for the email, let's take a look at the approval center again. So we have my new workflow instance, and so these are with business approvals workflows, and here with stages and nodes, you can take deeper looks into what is happening, because everything you create in the designer, ultimately this is stored in tables, right? In like stages, nodes, and so on. And there comes my email because this has executed far enough that it really pushed me the approval. And let me just approve this. So, and in my business approval workflow, the instance status will change. And here you see it is now completed. Again, in the first video, I said, for me, that's not everything, right? I mean, you have completed the approval now, and now what? We need to translate that into our quote. And actually, my quote is currently in progress, but if I refresh here, you see it is approved. And that is because I have created a second flow, and this flow reacts to this business approval workflow that we just looked at. And when the instance status changed to well, here are new and in running or in progress are the values. So I've excluded some of the values. I only want error, cancelled, and completed. And then I here extract with expression, like I split by the underscore and then take the last value, the value behind the underscore, to get out the GUID of the quote. And then I can ask here, is the status completed? And if so, take the ID you just extracted from the external reference, update the quote, and here set the status reason to approved, or in this case, set the status reason to rejected. Same logic. to get the quote to finally approve and then go on with your process. This business approvals workflow, so you can, of course, especially what I've shown, you can kind of build that in flows yourself. And that is definitely possible. Microsoft did it here. But it will take you time. And this whole designer, of course, is more business friendly, right? So people in the business can design this. You still need to design a flow around, or at least those two flows, right? To process the outcome and to trigger the beginning. But if they want to be flexible in terms of who is approving and so on, they can do it. In between, the only thing you will have to take care of if they want additional variables in their approval, so because maybe they do a new condition, right, or they want to put a value into the description of an approval that is related to the quote, you will have a new field in this, so you will need to adapt the flow in this case. That's kind of a bit of a downside, but this is more business friendly, covers more advanced scenarios, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you for joining us. A big thank you to you, Marius, as well, for sharing your expertise and on enhancing your approvals with the business application kit. What an amazing gift to the Power Platform community this holiday season. If you enjoyed the session, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for the more festive learnings and the Power Platform tips. Stay tuned. One video every day, lots of the learning ahead. Your support helps us to keep spreading knowledge and the holiday cheers throughout the community. Till the next video, goodbye.